What's up? Nothing?
No. You could have done it a little bit louder, and then I probably would have had some.
My volume's turned down loud, so I'm not sure how I'm coming through. How's everybody doing? Good? Look, they're even joining me now.
Yeah. You just can't get Jim to
anybody
join
else
you.
to do it, but what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Kirsta? How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. Mic check. Can everyone say whether they're hearing me or not? I don't want to.
Yeah, can everybody hear Kirsta? Can everybody hear Kirsta? Give Kirsta a what's up in the chat if you can hear him.
There we go.
Hang on, I think those are a little bit behind.
From before?
Yeah. Loud and clear. We can hear you loud and clear. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
Looking good. So look, today's going to be kind of a cool one. So that's not what I want. There we go. So, 2 weeks ago, we did kind of a part one of a crash course where we went over how to create winning products. And that went really well. It was pretty cool. Got lots of great feedback. People loved it. So we thought, hey, maybe we'd make a part two. And this time we would get into the ad side of things, Facebook and TikTok ads. And Kirsta here is the master. For those that are new and don't know Kirsta, can you kind of blow us away with a couple of your stats here? I know you had some massive numbers in Q4, and you're about to do it again for Mother's Day.
Yeah, I think we ended up with like 2.8 million in 30 days and $158,000 days as well.
Yeah, $158,000 in a single day, which is I don't know, I can't even really fathom that. It's so many orders in a single day. It's ridiculous.
It's like what we're doing on a month right now. Like, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah,
how crazy that is.
Well, and it's weird to I don't know, man. I remember when I did 92,000 and just how hectic things were in Ads Manager for me. And I know that a lot of the strategies kind of evolve over time, but yeah. Anyway, it was just nuts. So, anyways, if you're interested to, if you want to know how to make winning Facebook and TikTok campaigns, right? Campaigns that go viral. If you want to learn how to scale with ads, today is going to be a good day for you because Kirsta is the guy. I bet he's probably one of the top 5 TikTok marketers in the world right now. He knows exactly what he's doing. And you're going to get a ton of really good stuff today. on the call. And it's all free, which is absolutely unbelievable. So let's kind of get into it real quick. Oh no, where did my, hang on a sec, guys. I dropped my toast. So you know how we like to kick things off around here with the Digital Marketer's Toast. No Coffee with Michael is complete without it. This is the thing that's going to make your entire day better. I say it, and I know many of you feel it. You may get some tinglies, right? Some tinglies from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes after the toast. It unites all of us, right? The big kind of sip that rings around the world. So raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks. Join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Do you have something, Kirsta? Oh, there we go.
Mineral water.
Conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs to higher CTRs, much higher CVRs to enable ad accounts and big bank accounts, to upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sales, and to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Are you ready? Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
There we go. I got a really good light roast today from Ethiopia. It is delish. Give me another one of those. All right. You guys feel that dopamine flowing? If you felt some tinglies in the chat, drop some little sparkly emojis. Sparkly emojis if you had those tinglies. I know a couple of you did, and a couple of you are going to have amazing days because you participated in that. Your ROAS is going to increase, right? Probably by like 50% today. And that winning product you've been trying to catch, you probably just caught it today because you participated in the toast. It's magic, people. It's magic. All right. Do me a favor. If you like what we do, see, we got some tinglies coming through. Look at that. Facebook user felt some tinglies.
Even the water is tingly. Look at
that. Yeah, there you go. Here. Is it sparkling water?
Yeah. It's our internal brands.
Surely it wasn't suggestion that made all these people feel tinglies. They really felt it, people. All right, do me a favor. If you're watching on Facebook, like the post, love it, do all that stuff. Make sure you leave a good comment for us. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that kind of stuff. If you like the free content we bring to you every week, we would surely appreciate some love. So thank you very much for that. Let's get into some testimonials. So Emily here, so happy I finally made my first sale. Congratulations, Emily, and thank you for sharing. Looks like this was on Etsy, I believe, and it also looks like this was in took me over a month after it started. Couldn't cover all the expense, but it's a good source of motivation to keep me going. This is awesome. This is also pushing into another country, which is great. It's really cool when we see people start to branch out beyond just English-speaking markets. The U.S. still is just the holy grail when it comes to e-commerce. Just in terms of like the scale is ridiculous. But if you catch a winning product in another market, like in Germany, France, somewhere like that, where there's a real strong, healthy economy, you can it's basically a blue ocean. If you land a winning product there, you almost have no competition. You can just ride it for months. It's unbelievable. Anyway, Thank you, Emily, for sharing this. Really appreciate it. And you've got some swag coming your way. Laura here also has their first sale. It looks like spent the past 2 weeks absorbing as much knowledge as possible and reading a whole bunch of posts, going to YouTube, watching endless videos, only tested 8 phrases in the past 2 days, spent 12 hours on my laptop yesterday creating phrases, ads, going through my notes, wasn't able to sleep. My mind has been stuck in a loop going through everything I've learned, finally able to sleep a bit today, woke up expecting nothing, but I got my first sale, actually profitable on this particular ad set, looking good, feel relieved. If I can get one sale, I can get 1,000. And that is exactly right. That is the story here. If you can, it's a skill set like anything else. And if you can figure out how to create a winning product and you learn how to pair that with ads that perform okay, like you don't even have to be the best ad person in the world, you can make this work for you. So first sale here, $80 in revenue. Loving that AOV. Thank you very much for sharing this, Laura. Somebody on my team will reach out. You got some swag coming your way. Then we have one from Nadezhda. If I'm saying that right, apologize if I'm not. Third sale on Etsy, 3 in 1 week. Love it. Hopefully you're on to something for Mother's Day. That'd be absolutely amazing. Thanks so much for sharing. You've also got some swag coming your way. I think this is the last one. And then for me, My first 3 months of revenue on Etsy, still a long way to go. I'm sure I'll get there. $2,000 in revenue. And keep in mind, this is without ads. Most of these Etsy sales, they're organic. So, I mean, this can be a life-changing amount of money for some people. I mean, really, guys, how much money does it take to change your life if you're working a full-time job? $1,000 a month? I mean, $1,000 a month for a lot of people is a huge raise based on their monthly income. So it's an amazing thing that Shine On kind of has here. The opportunity that you have here to earn some side income, some side cash, to learn a new skill, to develop an expertise in a new area. It's absolutely unbelievable. Anyway, I apologize if I'm screwing that up. Thank you so much for sharing. You got some swag coming your way. So, hey, look, if you too want to get some swag, every week we grab 2 to 5 posts randomly from the group and we feature them here in Coffee with Michael. We're looking for testimonial posts with screenshots. This doesn't have to be your first sale. It can be a new milestone, your first 100 sales, first 1,000 sales, something like that. We also want to see your value posts, right? If you're dropping tips and tricks, knowledge into the group, helping other people out, we really love to see that. And we'll feature you here and send you some swag. All right, let's get through some news and then we'll get into the good stuff. All right, the Monumental Challenge has launched. So if you registered, please go check your email and make sure you join the private group as soon as possible. We sent you an email with a registration link so you can join the group. So make sure you go check your email, look in spam if you don't see it. I bet you can probably keyword search Monumental, right? This spelling here, and it'll pop up. Or you can search challenge. That might be easier, actually. And make sure you join the Facebook group because that's where the new videos are going to be. That's where the new, Tammy's going to be there literally week in and week out sharing tips and tricks and free designs. And I don't know everything she's got planned for this one, but she does an amazing job with them. We always hear amazing feedback on the challenge. So make sure you go join the group. First live training today with Tammy is at 1 p.m. Eastern. So be there or be square. All right, new products. We released these 2 weeks ago. Just wanted to make sure everybody got their eyeballs on them. We're super excited about this one. It's called Forever Linked. Forever Linked, this one, has 700 sparkling cubic zirconia. As you can see that these little chain links here just covered in cubic zirconia. Comes in 14K white gold, 14K yellow gold finishes. Base cost is $54.70, so we've got a higher ticket item here. We think you can sell it at $200. $200. And I believe, Kirsta, you were saying we could sell it even higher than that, weren't you?
I think that's a fair price for this one.
This is the adjusted
other one,
price.
So I think the cross was the one that we recommended higher above the recommended price. I think doing some testing, I think it's pretty fair price at the $199 compared to competitors. I think, but yeah, for paid marketing, like it's over $100 profit. Like you've got so much margin for the ads. So I think there's a lot of opportunity with this one.
Yeah, there's a ton of meat in the bone on this one. I mean, get this thing up on Amazon, get it up on Facebook, or run ads to it, however you want to do it. But man, this is just a cash cow. If you get something working on this product, your AOVs are going to be absolutely insane. And also, this was based on a super popular design right now that's trending. Another company is kind of selling it, but it's like 30 grand or something like that, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But it's super popular among the elite, I suppose. So anyway,
this will be perfect for the post Mother's Day sales because the love season's coming up. So like wedding anniversaries, like it's just the perfect product for that.
Yeah,
period.
Totally. Plus, it just seems like chains are in right now. So anyways, definitely go check that out. We also brought you a cross. I can't remember the name. CZ cross necklace. Okay, there you go. This is going to be a great one for Easter. Notice it's kind of bedazzled here in cubic zirconia. We got tons of requests to have a cross that was a little bit more feminine. So we know that there's a market demand for a product like this. So we think you're going to have a ton of luck with it. 32 1 millimeter glittering crystals, right? And 1 6 millimeter sparkling cubic zirconia. So I guess the rest of these are crystals, and that big one in the big honker in the middle is a cubic zirconia. 14K white gold finish. Base cost of $15.80. Standard box $25.80 on the mahogany, with a suggested retail price of $75 to $100. So again, this is an amazing one. Ships from the USA and the EU just in time for Easter. We think you're going to be able to blow it up. This would probably do really well on Mother's Day too. And then finally, we released 6 new metal art designs. Just in time for Mother's Day, we got kind of this home sweet home thing going on. We have Alexander, this monogram. Hopefully you guys can see that. We have this one over here with the flowers. This one right here kind of stood out to me out of all of them. I don't know why, just something about the flowers here. It just seemed kind of detailed and something that would do really well on Mother's Day. And then we have kind of your faith, hope, and love one over here. But we have new metal art designs. You can sell these in 15, 18, 24, and 30 inches. So we have a bunch of different sizes. Black, silver, and copper colors are available. There's 3 tiers of design complexity. All that means is the way we had to do base costs on these is the more complex the design, the higher the base cost. That's just kind of how that works. It's because it takes longer for it to cut and things like that. Custom orders ship in 7 to 10 days, but we're only shipping this in the US. That is an important detail. This is only available in the USA right now. These are going to be huge, especially as we get more into the spring and summer months. People are looking for items like this. I've seen these put on the outside of homes. I've seen them put in garages, man caves, shops. I've seen them put in auto body shops, kind of all over the place. So especially as we head into spring and summer months, these are going to start to pick up. So make sure you check those out. All right, finally, if you'd like to get some coaching, right? We offer it here at Shine On. So if you'd rather get some more like hands-on type support, a deeper level of support from Kirsta and the team, if you'd like to get kind of that cutting edge knowledge on what's working for them or not working for them on TikTok and Facebook, etc., go to coaching.shineon.com, coaching.shineon.com, and sign up. Again, these guys are some of the best media buyers in the world. So you can see here, we've got $2.7 million in revenue in about a month's time here in December, which I don't know, man. That's just crazy. And then here's $130,000.
So this is one of our
Valentine's
students.
Day run.
So this is one of our students that applied one of the strategies that we were talking. So like on that same day, you can see how his revenue just started skyrocketing from applying one of our strategies. Yeah.
Got it. Note the start of the steep climb on March 7th, which is when I started implementing the TikTok scaling strategy I learned during the call the same day. Yep, good call. So he implemented it here, and then he was able to scale. Yeah, so that's the power of the coaching. If you're sitting on a winning product, I highly recommend you sign up for the coaching. You can learn one golden nugget in there that will make all the difference. I mean, look at this. That's almost exactly what happened to Washington here. He learned one golden nugget that paid for the whole coaching experience. All right, Shots, go ahead, buddy. You want to add more to that?
No, that's cool. We can keep going. We got a lot of content.
Yeah, I know, man. We do this every week. I should probably figure this out and do it differently. All right, Shots of Espresso. We do these every single week. Make sure you're looking for these in the group. If you want kind of more advanced help, these are walkthroughs. A lot of times they're PDFs or over-the-shoulder videos. They're recorded, and we give them away for free, which is kind of an unbelievable value. We produce one of these a week. I believe they go up on Wednesdays, I think it is. If you want to find them, though, it's super easy. Just right inside the Facebook up at the very top, you're going to see this little featured button here. Click that. Anything that's been marked an announcement in the group is going to be right here in this featured section. So if you want to make sure you never miss a feature, a product, a shot of espresso, a coffee with Michael, you don't miss these anyway. You tune in live every week. All of that will be there, though, right? All of it will be right there. So click featured and you'll find it all. All right. That about wraps up the all the latest news. I'm getting a little faster at those. A little bit. You guys ready for this? You guys ready for the bombs that Kirsta's about to drop? Facebook and TikTok ads. Part 2 of the Mother's Day crash course. Facebook user says they're binge watching all of our videos right now. Thanks, buddy. That's awesome. Just sold one this week. What'd you sell, Ed? I didn't see the comment come through. Would be interested to know. Are you guys ready for this? Let me know in the chat. Do it. Ready. Gary Hare. Come on, guys. There's about a 30-second delay here. Raquel, apologize, Raquel, I believe that is, says ready, woohoo. Facebook user. There we go. All right, let's do it. We got some bombs. Ready, rock and roll. Okay. Let's do it. Kirsta, thanks for coming on and being willing to share with us. You ready to get into it, dude?
Let's jump straight in.
All right, buddy. You take it away. Just tell me when you want me to change the slide.
Sure. So let's start with Facebook Creative. So I know a lot of coaching students are also having trouble with their creativity. So I've just put together some new ideas which you can try to lift your Facebook ads. So what I've noticed, kind of the trend in the past sort of 6 months, there's been like one creative that's been working for everyone, and everyone is using that creative. So that's good in the sense of having like a baseline to test against, but it's not good in terms of your creative testing. So try and think outside of the box and use tricks, whether it be a offer trick. So we're changing the offer so it's more appealing, so that we get more conversions, or we look at drawing attention to our product when they're scrolling through the feed. So the problem with using like a format of creative, which has been done time and time again, it becomes banner blindness, and people will just scroll over it because it kind of looks like the other one they've seen. So here are like 4 examples of unique ways you can test and see if you're going to get more people to click on your ads. So the first one, we're hiding half of the message card with a black overlay box, and we have a shop now call to action button. So it kind of gives them a tease. So half of the message card, and also draws attention to the actual message, to the jewelry piece itself. So it's kind of like, here, look at me sort of thing, like I'm in your feed. So that does help, and it does lift CTR. So you can use that sort of strategy. I know that I cried reading this with the white has been like done time and time again, and that's probably the format which I've been talking about. So you can change up the text on that, so it changes the dynamic of it. Then number 3, we've got more of a subtle implementation of that, so it kind of like blends it into the box, but it uses like a neon style text to draw attention as well. And the final variation is we are manipulating the offer. So, another thing which people are drawn to is a good offer. So here I'm showing you the basic box, right? And you're like, okay, that's cool. And then my call to action, to get your attention, I'm saying free luxury box upgrade, and I have a smaller picture of that. So that will draw attention for them to be interested in the offer, so they click through and get the free luxury box. So you can price both variants at the same price, so they look like they're getting additional value, but essentially you can keep the price the same. You're just making it look like they're getting a better deal. And that's like another trick which you can use to increase your conversion rate. So a lot of the times people are looking for a good offer, and sometimes these tricks can lure them into to your offer. So a lot of people forget about this style of the marketing. It's all about testing the messages and the jewelry and all that sort of stuff. But really, we're marketers at core. We need to figure out all of these avenues. So these are the different creatives we can use. I suggest testing more and more variations, but again, more and more message cards is probably more important. So if you're starting out, pick any one of these and run with it and test the different message cards.
So, hey, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
These actually look super easy to make too.
Yes.
Where do you make them? Canva?
In Canva, yeah.
Yeah. I assume you were able to do it too with all the free templates. You didn't have to buy anything?
No, I didn't have to buy anything. So this is just using the number 4 is using a frame, and I'm dropping the picture of the luxury box in there, and it's using just a box for the red above and then just a text box. So it's literally takes maybe 5 minutes to make. Pretty much all of them and take 5 to 10 minutes to make. So they're very, very simple and they work.
And I'd imagine, are you just kind of experimenting when you come up with these? I assume you're just trying different things and seeing kind of what sticks.
Yeah. So if I have a winning message card, I probably test different creatives at that point and try to increase the CTR. So some of these variations may lift it above 1%, or some of them may decrease. So you kind of need to test different variations. But all of these are probably a good example of a good starting point. So if you want to test different message cards, pick any one of these examples and run with it. And then you can test the different variations of creatives to try and increase your conversion.
All right. So, hey, I think if you're cool with this, Kirsta, let's try today a little different. I want to allow people to kind of ask questions.
Sure.
As you present, because we're going to be jumping topics a little bit, so it might kind of help us a little bit. The other thing is, let's do one more kind of mic check. Can everybody hear Kirsta? Can I just get a few yeses in the chat if you can hear Kirsta? So here's a question I saw. So Gary said, can you combine 1 and 2 and make a 2-slide video? So can you just take all of these? Would you advise taking these and turning them into a kind of a slideshow?
You can try, but this is like more of a still image strategy. So still image is kind of like the baseline. If you want to do a video, it kind of changes the audience bucket which you're going to go into. So your creative strategy also needs to change. So you need to appeal to the video audience. So a GIF may not be so competitive in that audience. So as a still image, I think it's probably better to start with just one variation. And then when you're going into video, you probably follow more of the fundamentals of the TikTok video strategy, which we're going to cover later on in the slides today. Because it's all about getting the attention and keeping the flow on point throughout the video. So I'd probably recommend not doing like a GIF or slide animation because it'll go into a different bucket of audience, and they respond to different triggers and points. So I'd recommend sticking to one of these formats.
Okay. Here's another one. I think we'll do one more, and maybe we can keep going unless I see a good one. So this one's from Donna. So do you price number 4 at the $79.95 even for the standard box?
Correct. So it's just a marketing trick. Like just like a lot of people will give you half off when it's not really half off. It's just that they just double the price and do a compare ad.
So on this one right here, though, when they click through the ad, do they land on? Are you only selling the mahogany box on the landing page, or do they still have the option to get the Oreo box?
They still have the option of the Oreo box, but it's the same price as
the
mahogany box. So it looks like it's a free upgrade.
Got it. So they land there. They're defaulted likely to the Oreo box, but for free they can add the mahogany box.
I take them to the mahogany box and then let them try and downgrade, and they'll figure out the difference. Yeah.
So they click through. So just so everybody knows, they click through this and they land on the mahogany box in the hero image and the default selections and everything. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So here's one from Sheila. I thought this was a good question. That writing is tiny. You always say not to make the writing too small. How is that not too much writing on the card?
So I guess it's just because of the slide. It's really small.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
When I go through the actual steps of creating the ad, you'll see that it's much bigger than what. So these are cut down quite exponentially. So the ad will probably be like more 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixels, which is probably about double the size which we're at in this scale.
Okay, cool. All right, I think that's it for the questions for this one. Are you ready to move on?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
So this is the world famous Facebook strategy created by myself. It's called the Dirty 30 method, and we've had 3 variations to now. So the latest variation, we're changing one thing, which is the attribution setting. So that basically means that it will go to 1 day attribution. So we'll look for people that are going to convert on that 1 day. And there's two reasons for that. One is Facebook's algorithms changed recently, and for a testing strategy, it's easier to make decisions on 1 day click for us. So that's the reason why we've changed that. So we run two campaigns here. Three campaigns. One campaign is the $6 CBO landing page views, and this is probably familiar to those that were on Facebook for a longer period of time using paper engagement (PPE) campaigns to boost the ad. So like that, landing page views also boost the ad, but there's also potential to get purchases as well. Not saying to go run big budgets on landing page views. It kind of just keeps your ads balanced in terms of the algorithm. So you set that up first, and you then use the ad ID for the additional two campaigns which you're going to create, which are the conversion campaigns. So two $30 CBOs, and they're the 1-1-1 structure. So one campaign, one ad set, one ad, and they have 1 day attribution set on both of them. So as you can see in the diagram, we've got an EXA, which means existing ad ID. So I'll show you how to do that in our walkthrough after this line. And you kind of want to keep a $20 million audience. I think that's a good size, and that gives you good information that you have the potential to really scale this product. I mean, you can go really niche down, but the scalability is limited. And for myself, when I'm looking for products, I'm looking for products that will scale broad and go to high lengths as well. So we start the campaign at 12 a.m. the following day, and we run it for 1.5 days. And we basically just want to make sure that we are getting the metrics we're looking for. So we'll cover that in the next slide. What metrics we'll be looking for during the testing phase. And make sure when you're creating the ad that you cross out the enhancement. So a lot of people fall into this rabbit hole where they click the enhancements and it makes it better for all of the platforms. What happens is it generates it as a dynamic ad, and then you can no longer use the existing ad ID. So that is a trap. Don't fall for it, and make sure you just cross that out. And I'll show you that when we go into the live tutorial. We can go to the next slide.
Yeah, why don't we? Is this where you're going to do it?
Yep.
Now, why don't you just go ahead and do it, and then we'll do questions afterwards.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's see here.
Just let me know when you can see.
No, we don't have your screen up anymore.
Okay, 1 second. Oh, I need to press one more button. That's better.
Okay, you ready for me to add it?
Yep.
There we go.
All right, so first of all, we want to go to this create button, and we select the traffic campaign. And then what that'll do is it'll create you this new traffic campaign. And inside of there, we want to click edit here. And we want to change campaign budget optimization down here. Turn that to $6 as we set previously. And the campaign bid strategy should be lowest cost, right? So this is a traffic campaign. It's not a conversions campaign. I don't recommend running big budgets unless you're really at scale on traffic campaigns. It's just to keep your advertiser score balanced. All right, so next we go into the ad set level, and this is where we nominate our strategy and our targeting. So we go to optimization for the ad delivery here, and we change this to landing page views. Otherwise, we're just going to get traffic, right? As we said, we want to start this this campaign at the following day. and at 12 a.m. So we go 12 a.m. here, and then we want to select the country to Australia here. Oh, sorry, not Australia, United States. We had Australia. United States. And here we want to change the age demographic. So this needs to be suited to the audience which you want to target. So in this case, if we're doing a Mother's Day, we can probably start at 18 plus. But let's say I'm doing a wife, so potentially we can go for like the 20, 25 and above, and we go for men, for example. And that's pretty much all we need to do in the ad set level. If you want to target additional countries, you can, but we probably just stick to United States in the initial stages here. Then we go to the ad level, and at the ad level, we select the page which we want to advertise from. We create the ad, and then we put our text. So imagine getting this gift. Imagine wife receiving this gift, for example, as ad copy, and oops. Then headline, we can typo, but you get the idea. Headline, we can do perfect gift. Wife. And description, you can do it ships fast from USA, for example. And call to action, we select shop now. That's pretty standard with our e-commerce. And here we want to put our link to our site, product 1. And we also need to include the media. So this is where we add our creative. So we add image, and we upload here, and we can select one of our ad creatives that we created previously, right? Excuse me. Then we go to next, and this is where I'm mentioning that you need to cross out here. So this is asking to select media crop for placements and enhance your media, and then next one is optimize. So this is where we actually cross out. So this is a trap. Like, a lot of people fall for this, and they can't they basically can't use the existing ad ID at a later point. So now that we have this creative here, you can see it's actually much bigger. So if we go to advanced preview, we can probably see, it's fairly legible. You can read the text really well. And that's where if we had a look at the other creative with the black box and the shop now, that can actually help to stop the scroll. Right. So that's pretty much it. I would go ahead and publish that, unless you want to put the URL parameter tracking. You can put that in the below section. You don't, and sorry, I missed a step. You also want to put website tracking here as well. So I don't have a pixel set up on this ad account, but you should be able to select your pixel here, and it'll also track the events for your traffic campaign as well. So that way you can get the potential purchases, and it'll also count towards your traffic which you have going through on your campaign. Next up is the conversions ad. So once you publish that, you should have the ad ID.
That was the landing page view ad?
Correct.
Got it. So this is in the Dirty 30. This is kind of the first step, and now you're going to create the conversion ads next.
Correct. So now for the conversion ads, we go to create, and we create a new campaign, and we go to conversions, and we continue. That will generate another ad here, which is green, and you can go in there and edit it. for the top section, you want to make sure you have conversion selected. You also want to have the campaign budget optimization selected, and we want to set $30 for our budget for this campaign. Now, here is where we create or select a pixel that we're going to use to track in the ad set level. So you can select the pixel which you have, and make sure we select the purchase event here. So when you select the purchase event, that will mean that you're optimizing for conversion, and Facebook will try to find the traffic which is going to convert on your ad over all the other potential events which can occur on the platform. So again, we do the 12 a.m. the following day, and then we can select our audiences here. So you can remove the country and select the country which you want to target, and then we go to the section. We go to 30. We said 25 plus, and we selected men. And detailed targeting expansion is on by default on a lot of accounts. In this case, it's not. But you can also add some targeting here. So we said we want 20 million and above, and this is showing us 89 million. So this is completely broad, and we did that on purpose for the traffic campaign. But when we're doing our conversion campaign, we can add like a simple detailed targeting. So we can do like wife is an interest here. I think that will give us that the audience which you're looking for. So unfortunately, with the detailed targeting expansion, you can't really see the audience size. So now without that, we can see that it's 2 to 3 million. So maybe we don't use that one and we use married. And if you don't have the ability to turn off detailed targeting expansion to check the audience size, what you can do is you can actually just hover over the audience when you're searching for it, and that'll give you the audience size approximation. You can do that, and that should give you the audience size. So that's all we really need to do in the targeting section. So it's pretty straightforward. And then in the ad section, this is where the change comes up. So instead of creating a new ad here, we use existing post, and we can either select post directly from your page. So you can press this and find the post. Or if you want to be really certain, what you can do is you can go back to your traffic ad which you created. And from this drop down, once it's published, you'll be able to see open in Facebook. And what will happen is it'll open the ad, and you get like a URL, and you get like a last sort of slash and then some numbers, and those numbers will be your post ID. So you can copy and paste that post ID from that URL once you open it up, and you can paste that in here. So you can go enter post ID, and you paste that ID and submit, and then that'll link the previous ad to the Dirty 30s, and we can publish that. So you don't need to put your image or anything in the conversion ad, because you've already created the ad. You're just linking the conversion campaign to your previous ad. And once we do that, we literally just duplicate it. Once we publish that, we just duplicate the entire campaign, and that'll give us 2 Dirty 30s, and we publish that. And that's the end of the Dirty 30 setup.
Hey, I have a question real quick.
Sure.
What am I missing? Where's the 30 come in to play here? Because it's just the one landing page view campaign, and then the 2 conversion campaigns. Do you duplicate them 30 times?
No, the budget is 30. So that's where the 30
okay,
comes
got
in.
it.
Yeah.
All right, I missed that. Okay, let me see what questions we've got. They've been kind of pouring in, by the way. Everybody absolutely loved your kiddo popping in. Lots of cuteness happening in the background. Dean says, everyone target Kirsta with Father's Day products. So yeah, everybody loved that.
I had to buy another suitcase so I can bring her back toys from Dubai when I was at Affiliate World.
That's okay, man. Anyone with kids understands. Uh, Tammy, valuable contributions coming from Kirsta's baby. You'll just have to translate. Anyway, everybody loved that. They were great sports about it. Okay. Let's see here. I was setting my first product the other day. Bear with me. Is there anything that needs to be set up? Here we go. From Joe. Is there anything that needs to be set up to ensure you capture the purchase event?
So you will need to set up aggregated events management. John actually created a video on how to set that up. Potentially Tammy can link that.
Yeah, it's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's on the YouTube channel, but I think maybe she can find it and she can link it. That is good. That's a good tutorial of how to set that up. And then once that's set up, you should be able to go and select the purchase event in the events, which you can select from the list.
You know what? Real quick before I jump to that one, this is Joe again. The page says you must first make sure you have a custom domain. I haven't done that. Is that why I couldn't find the pixel location?
I don't believe like you shouldn't have to have a custom. Well, ideally, if you're on the platform, you will need a custom domain because you can't. I don't think you can advertise without a custom domain. So they need a custom domain.
This is probably the thing in Facebook where they want you to verify the domain. That's my assumption.
Yeah.
So it's probably not
domain will need to be verified. Yeah.
And that goes back to what Kirsta was saying. You have to go set up aggregated events and verify your domain and all of that. All right. Yep. So I believe it was Elsa. I was at. Do we publish both ads together, or can we do only one of the ads?
I mean, this comes back to the fundamentals of testing different portions of an audience. So one single like fishing line in the big sea of water may not find the fish in the first throw. Like this is something that I learned from Michael. So there's the same sort of philosophy. You kind of want to test two portions to get a good understanding if this product has legs or not. So that's why we create the two. Ideally, that is a minimum. Like obviously, you can do more if you prefer, but like at the very minimum for a testing strategy, I'd recommend spending at least $90 on a test for a product. That is that's the ideal amount of information we need. So that's why we create two and we run for a day and a half. That's equals $90 sort of spent on a conversion campaign, and that'll give us the information we need for our assessment.
I think you just kind of answered this. We're going to try it anyway. When you put the previous ad IDs, and then why do you dupe the ad? So I think basically what they're asking is why do you dupe the same ad over and over? What's the purpose there?
Yeah, so we just duplicate the campaign. So we hit two different parts of the audience. And the reason why we use a CBO instead of, say, for example, an ABO and do the same thing and have two ad sets in there is because the CBO algorithm is something that Facebook has been evolving over the past 2 years, and they kind of haven't evolved the ABO, and it's like they were gonna get rid of it, and then they got rid of it and they gave it back, sort of thing. So it's just that algorithm has evolved much more rapidly over the past few years, that it works better, especially for testing for us, than the ABOs in a single campaign.
Well, and I would also say that the reason you duplicate the ad is so that social proof carries, right?
Yeah, from the so the whole purpose of the traffic campaign and then duplicating the ad over the three campaigns is they all link together, and the purpose of the traffic campaign is to lift the value of that ad on the platform. So if for example you start just with a conversion ad and the first three interactions which you get are bad, and that's just bad roulette, like you just get the bad sort of numbers 3 times in a row, that'll push your ad down, and then it won't really get any legs. Whereas that traffic campaign kind of gives it a little bit of a boost because it's getting this positive interaction and clicks through on the site where it kind of keeps a balance so you get a fair test. So like the first 3 bad interactions don't hurt the entire ads life cycle. So it's kind of just a little trick to give a test a proper run.
Okay, thanks. I think let's jump back to the slides now.
Yep.
Next up is TikTok, right?
We just have like the tracking and what we're looking for.
Okay.
So I look for purchases. A lot of people will tell you to look at add to carts and click through rate and all these other metrics. They will fluctuate up and down exponentially. I think that it's more about purchases. We qualify the product. So by $90 spent, like if I don't have 2 to 3 purchases on the test, I probably move on to the next product. If I have 1 or 2 purchases, I'd probably continue at 2 purchases. At 1 purchase, I'd probably look at doing a creative variation or look at doing a phrase variation. It's not enough for me to qualify the product if I only get just 1 purchase within the $90 spent. Then I'd probably only continue the performing campaign. So campaigns that get consistent purchases, I'd leave running and I'd add additional dirty 30s. So dirty 30s run really well up until about 10, and then once you get to 10, if you start adding more, it kind of starts to fall over. So that's when we start to use more advanced strategies. I have an arsenal which is available in the coaching group and soon in our info product that we're going to release. So yeah, let the results come. Don't try to force them. So if you get that 1 sale, do your due diligence and see what you can improve to push it over the line, because something is telling you that it's there. You have something, but it's not quite there. What can you do to improve that? So creative is one. And if creative doesn't help, then go back to the phrase and do a phrase variation. Yep, that's cool. We've covered scaling and testing. We can proceed to TikTok.
Yeah, let's jump just to keep this show on the road here. Let's go ahead and jump over. You guys ready for TikTok? I'd imagine that's why everybody's tuning in. So I'm glad we saved the best for last here. All right, you tell me how you want me to drive.
All right, so this I created this in a way that we can have interaction with the audience as well. So we're going to play 1 and 2, and I want everyone to vote for which creative performed better than the other.
Okay, 1 or 2, right? 1 and 2?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to play 1 and 2.
Dude, I don't think any audio is going to come across.
Oh, really? Okay.
Hang on. You tell me if audio comes across, and if it doesn't, I think I can fix it.
Okay. No, you don't get audio.
What?
I've got audio.
Okay. All right. Let's start it over. Okay, and now you want me to play this one?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Very cool.
Now, everyone vote 1 or 2.
They're coming in. Got some 1s. Got a 2. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Looks like the 1s Yeah, here are a bunch of twos all of a sudden. Holy crap, a bunch of twos. It feels neck and neck again. I was about to give it to the ones.
All right. So it looks like it's fairly even, right?
Yes, it does look fairly even.
All right, let me break it down. So the second one had 0.5% click-through rate, and the first one had 1.5% click-through rate.
Wow,
So the
three
one
times the click-through rate on the first one.
three times the click-through rate. So both have a different storyline and a different way that they're transitioning. So both have a key hook, which is the first second. So on TikTok, it's very crucial to literally have the audience's attention in the first second. So, obviously the flowers and having the caption of what I usually buy, mom, and you kind of like, okay, so what's happening here? Like it gets you hooked, right? So you have to see what this video is going to tell you. The two variations is different music, and the way that they transition scenes. So um, the first variation goes to a blank and it builds the suspense versus that goes to the verses what I got of this year, right? So it kind of keeps them engaged, whereas the other one went straight over to the next just showcasing and that sort of stuff. Both of them are well put together in the way that the clips and the music and the timings of where the music is changing with the product and the scene. So that is kind of what creates good TikTok. So TikToks is more about creating stories rather than trying to sell a product. So if you're talking, buy at $59.95 or trying to like sell the product, it's not going to do very well on the platform. If you talk about the story like of the gifter or of the receiver, then you're going to have a much easier time with TikTok. So they use music is very important on the platform, and I recommend using the TikTok video editor, which we'll go into in the demo, and I'll show you how to pick music from TikTok.
That'd be awesome.
And it depends on your demographic. So this is a younger demographic, so we use music which is catered to them. So when you're targeting like a mum or dad, your music selection will change because you're targeting different people. So this is very upbeat, very hot music because we're targeting the younger demographics, and also the length of your TikToks may change as you target different demographics. So we found 10-second to 20-second work better for the younger demographics, and 20-second to 40-second work better for the older demographics. So you will need to test and see what pacing is the best for TikTok. So if we play three is another variation of a hook. So this is something we can change.
Hey, Kirsta,
Sorry, go ahead.
We had a bunch of people ask that we replay 1 and 2 again after you shared all of that. So I'm going to replay 1 and 2 real quick, and then maybe we can jump to 3. Would you be cool with that?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Here's number 1. So number 1 is the one with 3 times the click-through rate, right? 3 times the click-through rate. Here we go. Okay, and here comes the next one. So this was the loser of the 2.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
So I guess.
Okay, go ahead.
I guess from this point, if we didn't get a win we'd probably continue testing like different hooks. So 3 was another hook variation that we have prepared. If 1 or 2 didn't work out, so you can play and show just to give people different ideas. So this is a different angle. So the same sort of concept, different angle, and I'm also incorporating popular memes as well because the younger demographics go crazy over memes. So we can play the number 3 now.
All right, here goes number 3.
So that's basically changing the first 3 seconds in a different perspective. So we've changed the angle. So we're front focusing, and you can see the bin and the flowers. And we also changed the caption to "not this time," and you kind of again think what's going on here. Usual gifts, and then rather than going straight to the box, we go straight to the jewelry. And again, the music is synced where it transitions. It blends into the jewelry piece.
Very nice, dude. Okay. Do you want to do number 4 now?
Yeah. So TikTok has the ability to take images and create easy TikTok. So it will add effects, it will add the transitions, it will do pretty much a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So you can go into Canva, which I'll show you really quickly, and like put our images into Canva, and then go and upload them into TikTok generator. And then basically all you have to do after it generates these TikToks is add captions to them. Like it literally is like really easy to get started with 5 different creative variations, because it will test different music, test different transitions, test different effects. So for metal art, we were just using the TikTok generated TikToks, because we just use the images and it'll create them for us. So that is a hot tip. Obviously, the other variation of the creative style, you can use voiceovers. So I noticed people in the chat were talking about voiceovers. That is pretty cool as well. You can get someone to read out the message card, or you can read out the message card and do that suspenseful thing. We tried that for the younger demographic, didn't get much success with that. We had more success with these shorter style, really in fast-paced, real fast-paced moving creatives. So it depends on your demographics and what gets their attention as well. So we can jump to the tutorial. I think that's the next slide.
Did we play this one?
No, we didn't. Maybe
Should we play it real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hearing some new countdown music.
Yeah. So this is like really lazy, like where you just literally just get them from your generated images. If you want to do better, which I think most of you guys should want to be doing better, in the tutorial I'll show you quickly how to put them into Canva.
Okay, cool. Ready for the next one?
Yep.
All
Let's
right.
jump.
Whoops. It's not. What
It's
the
not
heck?
sliding.
No.
We broke.
We're just gonna have to do that. I learned that in Nom, that little trick right there. All right, let's go.
All right. So first of all, let's go into Canva. We want to go in here, and we want to.
Oh, hang on. Are you sharing your screen?
Yes. Oh,
yeah,
wait,
we're
no,
not
I'm
seeing you.
There's this extra like step that it says it's sharing, but it's not. So let's jump to Canva now. What we want to do is you want to go to upload. First of all, you want to file create and create new design. And what do you want to create? You go TikTok, and it will show you like end frame. So you can select end frame and it'll create this sort of background. What you want to do is you go to uploads, you upload your image, and then you can just drag it over it and it'll resize it for the 9 by 16 format. And you can just literally just select one of these effects here. I normally go with breathe, and it'll create like a little breathing effect on the message card. And then basically you just share and you download it, and then you've got that image. And then again, for the other image, you can again format it. So ideally, you kind of want to have the long format. I know it's easy just to drop the images which are square, and it'll still create a TikTok, and it still will be effective. But you probably get a better result if you spend the time and you like add the effect and also the resize it for the format. Once we've exported those, we jump into TikTok here. So you probably need to create the campaign and all that. Then when you get to the ad level here, you can go here where it says create, and you can select automatically generate multiple videos, and you can upload, and we can select these two. I mean, you can also add more videos, like you can have more images and more videos and get it to create the variations for you. So as a quick example, I'll get it to generate these for us. So generate videos. So we can just play it. Oh, so it kind of knows which ones are good or not, because it'll like automatically select the better ones out of the bunch. I don't know how it does that. And I swear, like, this AI is insane, because it's got so much data of all these advertisers creating TikToks in their platform that they know what sounds to put, where to transition. Like, it's learning every time everyone's creating an ad, and it's getting better and better. So it's actually really powerful as a tool. So it's got 3 here, which it thinks will do well. So let's play a couple of them here. So that's really cool. I actually really like how it really jumps out in the first second. Sorry, in the second second. And that's it. And that will just create like 2 more. Let's have a look at those. And this one. Yeah, obviously you don't have to, these are just a suggestion. You don't have to use every single one it creates. So maybe I like 2 of these, and I'll select 2 of those. And from there, what you can do is once it renders it, you can go to TikTok video editor and then add all of the other variations. So let's go into the TikTok video editor. And yeah, so first is materials. So if you want to upload additional photos or any other clips, you can do that in the material section. Second is the music. So you've kind of got like all music here, and you can go with tracks that have the highest spend in the last 30 days, for example, and you can try and match music that way. Or you can use the music selection, which it automatically selected for you. So if you want to, if you don't want to use the music pre-selected, you can split audio track and you can delete the music and then add your additional music. But yeah, so let's keep going here. Text, text we can just add, and you can select how many seconds. You can change the different format of it. So whether you want it to be black and white or white and black, you can change the colors of the text. So I strongly recommend using captions because it helps tell your story. And I probably use it like every 2 or 3 seconds with a 1 second break. So that way you always have something to keep the audience engaged. You can also use the transition. So, when you saw the transition when it's cutting into the diamond, that's something which is a mirror transition. It was this one here, I think. So the pyramid up was the transition which we used. So in between your different clips, you can add transitions, but for the most part, I'd recommend probably not doing too many transitions if we can avoid it, right? So let's go into it again, and we can create another variations of ad here. So we create another ad here, and we can go to create here and create a new video. Sorry, wait 1 second. We want to create, and then we want to generate video from images. So we can select, a couple of images here. So you can select the video duration here, where we wanted 20 seconds, for example, and we still select a 16:9, and we can upload the different. I wonder if we can use those videos. We'll probably just use the first second of those. All right. So now we can generate the video, and we'll create 3 TikToks with different variations at 20 seconds each. You will need to, if you're using the images, also select this final frame. So select final frame, and you can put your logo in there as well. So that'll render it to the last second. So if we play these, you'll see that it says logo name here. As you can see, it's synced to the music. It's really streamlined, and the music which it chooses, I think, is pretty on point. All right, so that's pretty much it in terms of the creatives and the TikTok side of things. I mean, it's probably a lesson in itself to go over the TikTok video editor. We could probably do like a coffee with Michael, where we create a few variations just with TikTok video editor. But this is just to give you a few shortcuts of to be aware of what the tools are available that you can use. And yeah, so that concludes the creative side of things. We can go into strategy next.
Yeah, maybe we do that, by the way, at some point in the future. Kind of a walkthrough with the creator. All right, man. Take it away.
So the TikTok testing structure, we do an ABO, so ad set budget optimization. So you basically don't change it to CBO when you first create it. We do 4 ad groups at $50 each, and basically the difference between all the ad groups is we changed the creative variation. So as you can see, there was different music, different effects, different way they transition in, different lengths. So you can test 4 different angles for your product. So you can have like first person, third person, so on and so forth. So you can test 4 different variations at $50 each, and I apply the same sort of analysis, which I'll share in the next slide, of how I make my decisions on TikTok ads. And it works the same way. We start at 12 a.m. The following day. The targeting is broad. Like, I recommend broad targeting for TikTok. I only restrict the ages. So if it's a Mother's Day product, we're going for the first section, so maybe 18, 24, and the 35. And maybe you can test like the 50 plus audience, but for the most part, it's the younger demographic. And yeah, so that is basically the targeting. So it's really easy to target. You just leave it open and let TikTok algorithm is really, really intuitive and really smart. And it works differently to Facebook. It has a randomness to it. It gives everyone an equal opportunity to go viral. It's really, really good. So I like the TikTok algorithm. And we only select the TikTok placement. So we will untick all of the other placements, which we couldn't show you in the tutorial. So whenever we are ready, we can jump back in to set up the campaigns.
You're gonna have to share your screen again.
Yep. Share screen. Okay, you should be good to switch over here. So we can probably go back to the campaign level on this campaign. So we go to campaigns and then we press the create red button, and that'll lead us to this create new campaign. We select conversions and we can say, whatever we're testing. So this could be a test for wife, for example, and we can go next. Right. We select website, the pixel, and we select complete payment. So complete payment is the purchase equivalent on Facebook. So that's just different names for the same thing. So here it'll be pre-selected at the automatic placement, and you don't want to do that. You want to go to select placement here and untick the other feeds. I've just had better success on TikTok. And the other thing is, if you're using native, Spark ads, then they won't work if you select these other platforms as well. So make sure that you untick those when you're setting the campaign up. Like I said, we just select the country which we're targeting. I don't select any interests or targeting, whether we're targeting men or women or no limit. So if you're doing potentially daughter and you don't have love mom or love dad, you can do no limit and test both. So there's a lot of things which you can do in targeting. So you can target particular hashtags, you can target interests, or just like Facebook, you can find like home improvement, you can do news and events, you can do daughter or family. Like I'm pretty sure there is a family interest here as well. So there's a my family, which is quite small. Family here, which is the bigger one, I believe. Which is weird, it's showing a small size, but there's plenty of interest. I mean, for the most part, you can click in and select your interest here. But yeah, I don't do that. Like for me, I go broad, and for the most part, it works on TikTok. And the other reason for that is because you can reach a lot of people with such a small budget on TikTok. So it's not really worth the time investment to dig into interest. And for us, if broad is working, it's not worth the additional effort to test interest and try to scale interest when broad works for the most part. Daily budget we set to $50, as we said. We also select the following day, and we go for 0000, the 12 a.m. for the following day. You can day part. Say, for example, you want to run your ads specific types of the times of the day. I don't do that. I feel that the full day is effective because you pick up low-hanging fruit in the auction, like especially in times of day where there's not many people online. It's really low competitive because there is a lot of people day parting, so they'll only run their ads like 9 to 11 or something like that. and there's all this low hanging fruit inventory that you can capitalize on. So yeah, if your ads are effective and you have a winning product, it's immune to day party, based on our experience. So lowest cost next, and then obviously this was the section where we created the ad, we create the different variations. Make sure that you don't run all of the variations in one ad group like we showed here. So you probably want to delete and only have one, and then publish with one ad group. And then once you've published with one ad group, you can go into the ad group in that campaign here, and you can press create, and that'll go through the procedure to create another ad group. So this second ad group, third ad group, and fourth ad group, the only thing we're changing is the creative, right? So we go into the ad level, we go through all the steps again, and then we get to the ad level and we change the ad. And that's pretty much it in terms of setting up the 1-for-1 TikTok strategy.
Nice, man. You want me to jump back into slides?
Yeah, so let's go over the analysis and troubleshooting. I know there's a common issue which we'll cover as well for those that are having trouble, and then we can wrap it up. So again, we're looking for purchases. I assess performance on TikTok a little bit differently to Facebook, so I probably spend a little bit more before making the decision. So I assess performance at sort of 120 spent. The reason for that is there's more creative variations. There's also the difference between the algorithm. Obviously, TikTok is a little bit newer, and there's randomness to the algorithm. So you really need a little bit more spend across more of the creatives to make a decision on it. So that's why I assess performance. And again, I'm looking at 2 to 3 purchases at the 120 spent, ideally 3 to 4 purchases for a winning product. And then I'd look to scale the campaign. So if you want to continue with this strategy, you can just scale horizontally with more ad groups, and basically with the same sort of budget. So you find the winning creative, and you just keep adding the $50 creatives in that campaign. And there's more advanced strategies which are available in Elite and our info product that we're going to launch in the future. Scale horizontally, and again, don't force the results. If you're not getting the results, putting more budget into it isn't going to change the scenario for you. Last but not least, if you're getting any issues, so the common issue is it doesn't spend. So you've got 4 ad groups at $50 and it doesn't spend anything on them. So you can switch to add to cart objective and run one of those ads for a couple of days, and then switch back to convert to complete payment, and that should kickstart your Pixel and your advertising account on the platform to be able to spend. The second variation, if add to cart doesn't work, you can go for higher budgets on the complete payment. So something like we found $285, $300 in a single day on a ad group tends to force it to spend. But again, if you're doing that, you need to know what. So you do 120 divided by 4, and you cut on that creative if it doesn't get any purchases by that amount spent. So that's the second trip. And then if you're still not getting spend, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's either a creative problem or it's a product problem. So go back to the drawing board. And that concludes the TikTok troubleshooting and performance.
So let's do just a quick, few minutes of Q&A, and then let's move to wrap this up. So whatever questions you have, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I can't promise we're going to get to all of them, but I'll try to get to a handful that are good. And then we'll move to wrapping this up. And also, it does look like there's some interest to do another video in the future on TikTok and the video creator and all that kind of stuff. So let's look here. Here's one. If you do the add to cart objective, is that the same $50 budget?
Yes.
Okay. Then we've got is there going to be a PDF of the Dirty 30? Well, you also have the video that you can always rewatch,
Yes.
and we could probably try to make the slide a PDF, perhaps.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
Will you test new products on TikTok?
Yes, I'm switching to testing on TikTok first, opposed to Facebook. It's just working better for us right now.
Do you prefer Spark ads over the other option?
So it's a double-edged sword. Both of them have their pros and cons. So I run both. So the con of doing a Spark ad, your profile is public and people can see your ads and they can easily copy them. And the other con of a Spark ad is that when they click on the profile link, it goes to the profile link, and then that's the end of the tracking for that person. So even if they go to your profile, they click your website, and then they go purchase, that's not attributed to your campaign. So it's not counted towards your attribution. So whereas if you do the dark ads where you use like just a created identity in the business manager, that if you click the profile will take them directly to the landing page and therefore will attribute more data. So that is something to note if you are on Spark ads, that the click-through rates generally will be a lot smaller because of the fact that people are clicking through the profile and potentially purchasing through the link on the profile rather than the landing page URL.
Okay. All right, we're going to do one more. This one's going to be from Mauricio. You assess the performance $120. Is this at the campaign or ad group level?
That is at the campaign level. So overall for that particular product.
Cool. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on and dropping some knowledge on Facebook and TikTok. If you guys appreciated having Kirst on, drop them some, what do we want? What do we like around here? Let's get some lightning bolts in the chat. If you appreciated having Kirst on, lightning bolts in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and move forward with wrapping up. So heads up, everybody, Mother's Day. March 27th is now behind us, right? So the next one is May 1st, Hungary, Lithuania, Portugal, Romania, and Spain. I would only focus on these if you know a foreign language. If not, I'd be focusing entirely on English-speaking markets. I would start in the USA, and then I would branch out as necessary. So you have USA, Australia, Canada, right? And New Zealand. This is all on May 8th. This is going to be a massive holiday. It's second biggest holiday of the year. You need to be testing for it right now. Sales are already starting to pick up. People are already doing their Mother's Day shopping. Test for this now. You want to find a product that works. Don't forget, it's not just Mother's Day stuff. You also have daughter stuff. Works really well on Mother's Day as well. All right, so that's May 8th. That's the big kahuna right there. And then following that, you have Poland, May 26th, if you know another language. And then you also have France. France is a gigantic market that can work really well, and that's May 29th. All right, if you like what we have going on, if you enjoy Shine On, if Shine On has changed your life, you can share it with friends. You can share it with other e-com people, and you can make money every time. If you share Shine On with a friend or an e-com person, and they sign up through your special link and they drive orders, right? You can make money on every order that they send our way. So all you have to do in Shine On, go to analytics, then referrals. Up at the very top right, you'll have a referral link. Share that with your friends, share that with other e-com people. And every time they place an order, you'll get 75 cents. You have to have had at least 100 orders to unlock this. So there is a little bit of a barrier to entry, but you can make money by telling your friends about ShineOn. All right, until next time, if you want to start selling at ShineOn, go to shineon.com, sign up. It takes 60 seconds. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure you join our Facebook group at bit.ly/GoShineOn. If you're watching on Facebook and you haven't subbed to our YouTube channel, go to youtube.com/C/ShineOnPod. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that fun stuff. And then also make sure you're following us on Instagram. We had new content dropping last week on our Instagram. So that's going to be like that going forward. So if you want to follow us on Instagram, we have tips and tricks and entrepreneurial mindset type stuff on there, behind the scenes looks at our production facility. Make sure you go check that out. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Until next time, happy selling. Take care, everybody.
See you guys.